I was 23. You're so young, which is normally, quite complimentary.
The amount of tears I cried, I thought nobody was capable of crying that many tears in one go.
I treat my body really well. How dare something like this happen to me?
The first things that people usually say is, you're strong, you can get through this, or a good attitude will help. As long as you keep positive, then you'll be able to get through this.
How often have you heard about the power of positive thinking? How often have you heard about the power of positive thinking when it comes to people with cancer and how it's going to make them live longer? Well, research is questioning that. It sounds like bad news, but in fact there's good news as well. Dr. Penny Schofield and her colleagues have been looking at optimism and its influence on survival rates of cancer.
Optimism is an attitude of mind that there's a global expectation that things are going to turn out good in the future. The study we measured optimism in a group of people who had inoperable lung cancer.
They used the life orientation test to measure optimism. Statements like these were rated from 1 to 5.
We then followed these people for up to 10 years to determine what their length of survival time was. It's a very common belief that if you are more optimistic, then you're more likely to survive cancer.
While Rita wasn't part of Penny's study, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she felt a loss of control and tried to stay positive.
But I was scared, and when you're lying in bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, you can't help but feel scared. I need to be keeping positive to help my health. I tried to maintain some level of exercise. I also worked all the way through my treatment. I guess I tried to put on a brave face.
The commonest thing that patients will say to us is, everybody says I have to be positive. And there are some days where I feel downright shitty. I don't feel positive at all. I feel overwhelmed. And so who do I talk to on those days? That's very difficult.
Well, it's good to see everyone again.
Well, in Rita's case, she speaks to her friends. She coordinates a group called the Young Ones. These are women who are all under 45 and have been diagnosed and treated for breast cancer.
We don't really talk about breast cancer. No, exactly.
They all have quite different ideas about keeping positive.
I did so many things. I did meditation, yoga, completely changed my diet.
When I was diagnosed, people were saying to me, so, you're going to be going on to organics and giving up tea and coffee.
I didn't meditate. I didn't go off wine. I didn't change my diet drastically because I truly believe that you have no choice over this. I truly believe that it's just cells behaving badly. I think probably one of the biggest myths is that a good attitude can beat this.
And Donna's thoughts reflect Dr. Penny Schofield's findings.
We found that optimism does not predict survival time in people with inoperable lung cancer. It may well be that optimism does affect survival time in different types of tumours.
There are other studies, for instance, in metastatic melanoma, which did seem to show that optimists did better. Patients who actively seek new treatments, additional surgery, for instance, optimistic that it will help them, may do better.
Perhaps it's not so much the power of the mind, but the power of the mind over action.
Positive attitudes are great, but they're also hard work if you're not feeling well, and sometimes there's more than just a dark mood. If you're not feeling well or you're not feeling positive and you're trying to tell people that you are, it can be hard.
We know that people with cancer have a high level of psychological distress, anxiety and depression, and being optimistic or forcing oneself to be positive may prevent those signals being put out that health professionals need to pick up psychological distress and appropriately manage it. I think that people should maintain a balance between being positive when they're having a good day, but also allowing themselves to have bad days, to have days when they feel angry, annoyed, pissed off that they have cancer.
So it's not as if positive thinking doesn't matter. It does. It's really important for your well-being. The thing is, you shouldn't be afraid to admit it when you don't feel that positive. And if you can't pull yourself out of bad feelings, get some help.